The National Hockey League, a league with a rich history that unites cities in shared passion, now faces a troubling reality. TV ratings are falling, arenas are struggling to fill seats, and the league seems to be losing its place in the broader sports landscape. What happened to the NHL's once thriving dominance in professional sports? At the start of the 2024 to 2025 NHL season 2 months ago, a report by Sports Media Watch indicated that the opening night tripleheader on ESPN averaged a 0.29 rating and 559,000 viewers, a staggering 39% drop from last year. Even more shocking, marquee matchups like the Bruins and Panthers drew just 790,000 viewers, down 47% in ratings and 45% in viewership. In fact, none of the NHL games on ESPN that night managed to outdraw a WNBA playoff game airing on ESPN2, which pulled in 984,000 viewers. Even MLB postseason games, as expected, easily outpaced the NHL in viewership. One major issue regarding the NHL viewership decline is due to the regional blackouts that are often preventing viewers from watching their favorite team's games. These blackouts occur when local broadcasters hold exclusive rights to air games within specific regions, leading to restrictions on national or out-of-market streaming services. This practice is intended to protect the interests of regional sports networks, RSNs, but it often frustrates fans who can't access games without subscribing to several different services. While these deals aim to boost viewership and revenue, they often lead to complications for fans, especially with regional blackouts. With one fan saying, "Make it easy to watch games." If someone needs to subscribe to 2 different cable channels and a subscription service just to follow all games, you will keep losing viewers. This in turn has promoted the rise in illegal streaming as fans seek cheaper or more convenient ways to watch their favorite teams. Many turn to unauthorized streams online. This undermines the NHL's revenue and skews the true number of viewers. One viewer adding, "I've been pirating every single game because it's impossible to watch hockey." Another major decline for the league is the inability to market itself to viewers outside of the core audience. The National Hockey League boasts exceptional talents like Connor McDavid and emerging stars such as Connor Bedard. However, their recognition often remains confined within traditional hockey circles. In contrast, athletes from leagues like the NBA and NFL have become cultural icons, celebrated not just for their athleticism, but for their personalities and media engagement.
LeBron James is the oldest player in the NBA. Your reaction?
Yet, the NHL seems stuck in an old-fashioned mold, where its stars shine only on the ice and rarely outside of it. Look at Caitlin Clark. You can't scroll social media without seeing her name, often bringing in millions of views and engagement, which the NHL desperately needs. Whether it is her clutch performances, trash-talking flair, or just her raw competitiveness, she transcended her sport, becoming a cultural conversation piece. The NHL has players with similar appeal. Bedard's arrival in the league has been hyped for years, and McDavid consistently delivers jaw-dropping moments. But where is the viral content? Where's the marketing that makes someone who's never watched hockey think, "I need to check this guy out"? To bridge this gap, the NHL needs to showcase these players beyond just game highlights. They need to become part of pop culture, a name you hear on talk shows, podcasts, or even in casual conversation. Social media is where audiences live, especially younger ones. The NBA excels at this, with players sharing raw, unfiltered content that fans eat up. The NHL needs to empower its stars to do the same. Behind-the-scenes locker room moments, personal glimpses into their lives, or even playful interactions with teammates could help humanize players like McDavid and Bedard. Right now, their social media presence is too polished and too quiet. It needs to be louder, more relatable, and more authentic. One of the biggest challenges in today's media landscape is capturing and maintaining attention. With the rise of short-form content on platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels, people's attention spans have become increasingly limited. But here's the thing, hockey is made for this era. It's a fast-paced, high-intensity game with non-stop action and endless highlight-worthy moments. Yet, the NHL has been slow to capitalize on this natural advantage, which brings us to our next point, changing fan engagement. The shift in how younger fans engage with sports. Millennials and Gen Z audiences are less likely to commit to attending a full 3-hour game, preferring instead to consume highlights, social media clips, or streaming options that fit their schedules. The NHL, with its traditional game structure and slower adoption of digital engagement strategies compared to other leagues, has struggled to adapt to this change in fan behavior, which in turn has seen a decline in viewership. In my opinion, one of the biggest barriers to growing interest in hockey, both in viewership and as a sport overall, is the financial burden associated with getting involved. Unlike sports such as basketball or soccer, where the equipment and facilities needed are minimal and affordable, hockey demands significant investments that can discourage participation at an early age. For example, with basketball, all you need is a $20 ball and a pair of sneakers, and you can play virtually anywhere, on a driveway, at a park, or in a gym. Similarly, soccer requires just a ball and an open space, making these sports accessible to almost everyone, regardless of their economic background. This ease of access plays a major role in their widespread popularity and global reach. Hockey, on the other hand, is much more demanding. The cost of basic equipment, including skates, a helmet, pads, sticks, and gloves, can easily exceed hundreds of dollars, and that's just for starters. As players grow, they outgrow their gear, meaning parents must repeatedly replace expensive equipment. Beyond the gear, ice time for practices and games often comes at a premium, as maintaining rinks is costly. Many families find themselves paying significant fees just to participate in leagues or rent rink space for training. Training adds yet another layer of expense. To excel, young players often need specialized coaching, private lessons, or participation in elite travel teams, which come with steep fees. All of this creates a financial barrier that makes hockey far less accessible to families of modest means. The difficulty doesn't end with costs. Hockey also demands access to ice rinks, which are far less common than basketball courts or soccer fields. This lack of accessibility limits the number of kids who even have the opportunity to try the sport, let alone develop a passion for it. The combination of high costs and logistical challenges inherently narrows the pool of potential players and fans, which, over time, lessens interest in the sport as a whole. Ultimately, these barriers to entry have a ripple effect. If fewer kids grow up playing hockey, fewer families will develop a deep connection to the sport. This directly impacts viewership and the NHL's ability to cultivate a broad fan base. For hockey to truly grow, both at the grassroots level and as a professional sport, there needs to be a concerted effort to lower these barriers, making it more affordable and accessible for everyone. At the end of the day, the NHL's popularity is largely confined to North America, with Canada and parts of the United States serving as its stronghold. While hockey does have passionate followings in certain European countries, the sport struggles to match the global reach of leagues like the NBA or FIFA's influence through soccer. This regional limitation not only stunts the NHL's growth, but also reduces the sport's potential to captivate a worldwide audience. If the league wants to truly thrive, it needs to address the barriers we've discussed, whether it's making the game more accessible, improving marketing efforts, or broadening its appeal to new demographics. The talent is there, the excitement is there, but the NHL must evolve to ensure hockey becomes a global sensation rather than a declining regional favorite.